In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, I would like to welcome all of you, the students of today's lesson, which is going to be about Unit 5, pronunciation. Today, inshallah, we will know the difference between two sounds, distinguish between the Ja sound and Yah sound. So this is the main objective of today's lesson. As usual, we'll start by revising the previous one. Okay, we have the listening, and we talked about this. You are going to listen to the horse trainer talk about horse training, make notes in the chart, then talk about it in a class. So we did this actually, but this time we need to make sure and to revise this one. So now we are going to listen to the audio, then to make sure and to fill all the chart here I'm talking about, okay, and the answer about the undesirable practices and belief, the undesirable practices and belief, also the desirable one. Please listen and check your answers.
Page 73. 5. Listening. Listen to the horse trainer talk about horse training. Make notes in the chart. Then talk about it in class.
Horses are gifted animals with their own code of behavior and communication. What is called horse breaking does neither the horse nor the rider credit. When preparing a horse for saddle, our aim is not to break the horse's spirit, but to create a willing and accepting partner. Although harsh treatment and extreme force are no longer condoned by many horsemen, there are still those that adopt violent and cruel training techniques. One such trainer, who resorted to beating horses that he considered stubborn, got a taste of his own medicine when his horses, which were certainly strong and beautiful, did miserably in a show because they were panicked at the sound of applause and could not be handled because they did not trust their rider. It is true that horse owners need to be firm leaders to their horses, but ruling by fear rather than respect will not help get the best they can from their horses. Adopting a slow and methodical approach towards training allows one to get to know one's horses and train them to deal with all sorts of things, including potentially frightening distractions. The secret to natural horsemanship is communication. Before you attempt to develop your riding techniques and other details, you should take the time to get to know your horses, learn their body language, natural tendencies, and how they react to things. Each horse is different. It seems to me that people go to great lengths to avoid what is the simplest and most rewarding option, namely, a few days of around-the-pen work that takes a bit of time and patience but pays off in the long run.
So as you can see here, these are the answers. The undesirable practices and beliefs break the horse's spirit, rule by fear, use harsh treatment. So for example, here I'm talking about the horse spirit, and here fear. Okay, this is the note we're talking about. Okay, harsh treatment. Okay, and extreme force like beating, for example, or something like that. What about the desirable ones? Create a willing and accepting. So for good horsemanship, owners need to be firm. Okay, and then rule horses with respect, not by fear. Okay, with respect. Communication is the secret to natural horsemanship. Then after communication, we have get to know your horse body language, talking about body language here, and natural tendencies, okay, how the form of your horse. Then finally, the horse needs time and patience. Time and patience. Okay, very good. Now, let's move to today's lesson. As I said earlier, we are going to pronounce something very important and differentiate, distinguish between the Ja and Yah sound. Now, look at this picture here. Very good. Let's start with this one. This one. This is the letter J. This is the letter J in English. Okay. I need you now to read those words. We have jet. Very good. Juggle, jump, jug, and jam. Nice. What about this one here? I'm talking about, of course, what is the letter here we have? Of course, it is Y. But now, today, we are mainly talking about sounds, not letters, guys, okay? Sounds. Here, for example, read this word. Yes. Nice. Okay. Can you recognize this one? This picture? Yacht. Yacht. Okay. What about the color here? Yellow. Yellow. Very good. Okay. Here, it's called yak. And of course, we have the word yogurt. So now I'm giving you examples of how we can pronounce ya sound and ja sound. Of course, we will differentiate between these two sounds, okay, when we move to the next slide here. Now, this is like a game for you. This is called tongue twister. I need you to read this sentence. Take your time and try to read this sentence before we move to the next one. Okay, let's read together actually. Major James Bridges and Sergeant John Rogers gently changed the engine in their huge Jeep. Okay, inshallah, after you know what is the difference between these two sounds, okay, by seeing the scripts and all of the how we can write these sounds, you will know the difference between when you read this sentence again, you will notice the difference between these two sounds. Okay, first, let's start by knowing the consonant sound ja, and actually we said that in jam, for example, okay, and or jet, jet. Now, as you can see here, you have to place your tongue, okay, just like this one. You have to place your tongue at the floor or at the top of your mouth, okay? Why? Because you are going to stop the air stream. You are going to stop the air stream. Now try it, okay? This is number one. This is number one. You have to stop the air, okay? Place your tongue, okay, at the floor, as I said, at the top of your mouth, okay? Then let the air comes out, okay, like this one, before pronouncing this, okay? Because why? Because the ja sound, I'm talking about this one, the ja sound is a mix between two sounds, the da, okay, and ja, okay, da and ja. So here, now, this is the first one, the first step. This is the second one, okay. Let the air goes out, okay. Now, let's see how this happens actually. And don't forget, this is a voiced sound. This is a voiced sound, as you can see now, okay. The ja, how we can pronounce the ja, okay. Let the air, again, let the air goes out. First, stop the air, okay. Then let it go. Okay, like ja, for example, edge, okay, bridge, and so on, okay? Or even the word jet, you have to stop your tongue, okay, the tip of your tongue, okay, on the top of your mouth, okay? This is the first one. What about the second one we're talking about now? The sound ya. And actually, why I am writing this, it's the letter J, but as I said earlier, we're talking about sounds, okay, talking about sounds, okay. So the script of the sound ya, okay, using the letter, yes, the letter J, as you can see. Number one, okay, as you can see, you have to place your tongue where? Okay, behind the bottom teeth here, behind the bottom teeth, okay, you have to place your tongue. This is the first step. Then the next one, as I said earlier, let the air goes out, because this is again a voiced sound, okay? Yeah. So you have to place your tongue behind the bottom teeth, as I said earlier. Look at this hand here. Now I'm saying that you have to place this one behind the bottom teeth. So, yeah. Try to pronounce it. Yeah. Yellow. Yellow. Okay? Now, let's see actually how the air goes out. Okay? And the movement of the tongue here, as you can see now. Okay? So, the air goes out. Okay? The air, look, the air goes out. And of course, do not forget, this is sound, or voiced sound. Okay? Look, what happens to the air? Goes out. And be careful about blocking the air or stopping the air. You don't need to stop the air when you pronounce yeah sound, okay? You don't stop the air here, okay? So this is the difference actually. In some native speakers, okay, they pronounce yeah, okay, very quickly, okay? And sometimes you hear in different languages, okay, for example, when they don't have this sound, okay. For example, to differentiate between year, okay, some languages they don't have the yeah sound, so they say ear instead of year, okay. And this is a combination to it's actually we cannot say that because these are different words, okay, different words. So you need to learn how you can say yeah and distinguish between the ja and of course yeah sounds, okay. Very good. Now let's move here. Look, can you read this one? Not yet, not yet. Now I am pronouncing the yeah sound, okay? As you can see here, this is the word yet, but look at the script here. When I wrote yet as a voice, okay, when as I say it, okay, or something, or pronounce it, I have to use this script, okay, like jet. Be careful about that, okay? I am not saying this is a jet, this is a voice, okay, how we can pronounce. This is a script, okay? While this is the jet, as you can see. And look how we can write the transcript of this word here, jet. This is how we can say jet. Now, this is called something like pronouncing da and ja. This is a mix between two voiced, okay, two sounds, sorry. Jet, jet, okay. Next one, let's see, practice, okay, practice. Here, what is the color of this lemon? Yellow, yellow. Look, the yeah sound using the J letter, okay? Yellow. What about this one here? Jello, jello. So now I am using the ja sound, okay? With the letter, of course, with two letters, of course, here, okay? So I'm focusing on the D, okay? And something called like here, ja sound, ja, like for example, fusion sometime, okay? Or pigeon, sorry, like pigeon, okay? This difference between jello and jet, okay? Pigeon is different between difference from jello, okay? Very good. Now, let's go back and try to read this sentence again. Major Jim Bridges, and Sergeant John Rogers, okay, gently changed the engine, and their huge jeep. Okay, now can you identify the sounds yeah and of course the second one ja? Very good. Let's start with major, for example. This is ja, major, major. Then gym, we have gym. Okay, actually in gym, for example, we have the two sounds, the ya and ja. Okay, gym, this is the ja, and using I here, yeah sound. Okay, why? Because the ja and yeah sounds have, for example, different letters. We use different letters to pronounce these sounds. For example, major here. Okay, sometimes we use the letter J. Sometimes for example, like major. Sometimes we use G. Okay, and sometimes we use D, like in soldier. For example, soldier. So the D here, okay, I use it and something. I use it different pronunciation, different voice. Okay. Also, sometimes like with double G. Okay, with double G. What about the ya sound? You can find it in using the letter U, for example, the letter U, okay, or even I. Okay, all of these, Y, of course. Okay, all of these letters use the same sound, ya. Okay, talking about, and of course I'm talking about ja, ja. Look here, bridge, bridge. Okay, so here we have D and G, of course, bridges, and sergeant, sergeant. Sometimes also the Y, when I use Y, for example, like in few, using EW, for example. Okay, the same, like view or few, okay, have the same voice here. So, and Sergeant Joan, Rogers. Now, so now you can find the difference between these, or distinguish the difference between ya and ja sounds. Okay. Now we will move to your book, of course. Okay. Pronunciation. We are going to listen the first time. You are going to listen. Just listen. Don't say anything. Just listen to this, to the voice, of course, to the audio. Try to hear the difference between ja and ya sound. Okay? So, are you ready? Very good. Let's start and hear this audio.
Page 73. 6. Pronunciation. Some students of English confuse the y sound in yet and regular with the j sound in jet and magic. Listen and practice.
1. Jack owns a very energetic young stallion. 2. The horse has an intelligent, gentle nature. 3. Ponies have beautiful features and are popular with children. 4. Many true stories demonstrate that horses are loyal human companions. 5. These are just a few of the techniques used to train horses.
Now, as you have heard now, okay, the difference confused by the ya sound in yet and regular with the ja sound in jet and magic. Okay, so you are going to listen again. Also, you have to know that ya and ja have different letters, okay, when I'm talking about the alphabet. But in sounds, okay, I'm talking about only, do you remember these sounds? Okay, for example, this is ya, of course, and of course the second one, this is the ja sounds. You are going to listen again, okay, but this time you are going to pronounce and try to follow the audio, okay? Try to follow the audio. Let's start.
Page 73. 6. Pronunciation. Some students of English confuse the y sound in yet and regular with the j sound in jet and magic. Listen and practice.
1. Jack owns a very energetic young stallion. 2. The horse has an intelligent, gentle nature. 3. Ponies have beautiful features and are popular with children. 4. Many true stories demonstrate that horses are loyal human companions. 5. These are just a few of the techniques used to train horses.
Very good. Now you have heard, okay, you have trained and practiced saying and pronouncing the y sound, also with the j sound, and you know the difference between them, okay? Actually, I would like you to keep saying that the same sentence here. Major Jim Bridges and Sergeant John Rogers gently changed the engine in their huge Jeep. Okay, you will know the difference now and find out that yeah and ja are different sounds. Okay, so mainly we have finished our lesson today. Okay, let's see the objective. Distinguish between the ja sound and the yeah sounds in English. I would like to thank all of you for watching us today, and inshallah I will see you at the next lesson. Goodbye.